It's showtime.
Get over here!
Uno mas, thanks.
You're Johnny Cage. I loved Citizen Cage when I was a kid.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
They should do a reboot.
Nobody wants that. Shit went out in the 90s.
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen to fight.
Tell me you're not some crazy fans. How are you doing that?
Are you coming or what?
Where the hell am I?
It's called Mortal Kombat. It's a fighting tournament. To the death.
Bad.
This is a war for the fate of your world.
You dickheads in or what?
I'm not some champion. I don't have transformer arms. Or shoot lightning bolts. This shit's got nothing to do with me. I'm an actor.
I find you annoying.
Not the face.
There's a war going on outside. You could run, but you can't hide forever, ever.
It's time to become the hero you were meant to be.
All right, you big ugly fuck.
Only the strong survive.
Finish him!
Are you shitting me? You don't have any powers?
Just incredibly handsome.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. They dropped a Mortal Kombat 2 trailer. There's a bunch of new characters from the game that they're introducing from the second game because this is the second movie, so they're treating it kind of like the second game evolved the actual story of the game. This is actually how I found out that I didn't have any Mortal Kombat t-shirts for some reason, so NetherRealm or Warner Brothers, send me some Mortal Kombat t-shirts. I am almost positive that they will sell some fake in-universe Johnny Cage merch for his classic movies. As you can see, Karl Urban is playing Johnny Cage. They basically teased him at the end of the first movie. He was like the big post-credit scene, like, hey, we're doing Johnny Cage in the next movie. There's a bunch of big characters are getting into because of the lore of the second game that expanded everything, like Shao Kahn, Kitana, the backstory for Outworld and Edenia, like the former realm that Shao Kahn took over to become king of Outworld in this place here. It even looks like they're doing Noob Saibot, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. As you can see, like the real big thing here is just introducing Karl Urban as Johnny Cage in the POV character of the second movie, in the way the Cole character was the POV character of the first movie. So even though it is kind of an ensemble movie, you have like all these characters from the game, mostly Johnny Cage is the main character.
They should have brought more guys.
You should have brought more guys.
He's been in 1,000 movies, but most recently you will remember him as Billy Butcher from The Boys, so it is funny to think of Billy Butcher being stuck inside the Mortal Kombat universe. There are actually a couple of fake in-universe movie trailers that they released to coincide with this that will probably be featured at some point during the actual movie. The whole idea during this movie is that by the events of present day, when Raiden and the other characters find and recruit him, he's washed up. Like he says, all those big movies that I used to do, those big martial arts films, were really huge in the 90s, nobody wants a reboot, which is a reference to the whole Mortal Kombat movies that are going on right now. Like they kind of rebooted the movies from the original 1990 movie in the franchise, which debuted initially in the 1990s. So it's a big reference to the whole Mortal Kombat franchise, not just the movies themselves. I was actually expecting this guy at the beginning who's like, hey, you're Johnny Cage, you're amazing, to be Ed Boon himself, but it's not him. That would actually been a pretty solid place for a cameo, just based on the tone of a lot of these movies and the way they're doing Johnny Cage's character. My assumption, if this movie does well and they do a third movie, Johnny Cage does survive the events of this film, they will actually do a reboot franchise with his character. Like, he'll get a lot of new juice and a little wind under his wings and be like, yes, I will reboot all my cheesy 90s movies. As you can see during the trailer, there are a number of characters who died during the events of the first movie who are coming back during this. Ed Boon and the director actually addressed this. Ed Boon was like, well, in the Mortal Kombat games, we actually have a lot of characters who died who do come back as spirits. So like it is possible to see characters come back who did die in previous movies. So I'm assuming they'll just explain that logic through the course of the movie. What we'll do is we'll start at the beginning of the trailer and just work our way through shot by shot, talking about Easter eggs, references to the games, references to the original movies as we go along. They start with Johnny Cage at a bar, drowning his troubles, just feeling sorry about himself, his career in the dumpster right now. There's a brief promo of the Uncaged Heat trailer that they released earlier, like a nice shiny HD version of that. They released this whole version just a couple days ago, just to hype up the actual trailer itself. As you can see, it's meant to be a parody of a lot of 1990s era martial arts movies. I remember seeing a lot of those movies myself. They make the reboot jokes all about the Mortal Kombat movies themselves, like the 2021 Mortal Kombat reboot of the franchise with them trying to start a new line of movies. Obviously, the games have been going since the 1990s too. I don't know if I'd consider them reboot, like the present day versions of the games, more modern reboots, because they're completely different from the original game. Notice that he's driving a 90s car as he jokes about all of his movies from the 90s that used to be popular.
Hi, Johnny.
As you might have detected, it's a 1995 Ford Mustang. 1995 is the year that original Mortal Kombat movie came out. Raiden comes with Sonya Blade to recruit him, and it seems like he joins them pretty quickly after not believing them for like a hot second till Raiden uses his powers. They take him to their base in Outworld, and it seems like his tutorial fight is facing Kitana, and she just hands him his ass. You do also see Mileena, as well as her mother, Queen Sindel, in the trailer. They're also doing King Jarad, too. I think is the backstory of Edenia and sort of explaining how Shao Kahn came to take over this place. The whole idea is that Kitana is the daughter of Sindel and the original king of Edenia, King Jarad. Many years ago, Shao Kahn was the ruler of Outworld, and they faced Edenia in the tournament of Mortal Kombat 1, so their realm, Edenia, merged with Outworld, and Shao Kahn came to rule all of their territory, then killing King Jarad and taking Sindel as his wife, like forcing her to marry him, then making Kitana, who was the biological daughter of King Jarad and Sindel, his daughter and the sister of Mileena, which is why in the context of the movies and the games, Kitana is good and fights with Raiden's team, while her sister Mileena is evil and fights with Shao Kahn's team. She absolutely hates Shao Kahn and wants to get rid of him as fast as possible. There's a couple different fight scenes that you see him going up against a couple different characters across the trailer. The whole idea is that Shao Kahn is meant to be god-level powerful, more so than Raiden. Like, he's a big threat. That's why you see him usually facing multiple characters at the same time. We get a shot of Liu Kang seeing Kung Lao, even though he died during the events of the first movie. Like I said, characters who died during the first film will be back during this. Not everybody, but a lot of them, a lot of the big ones. As Raiden tells Johnny Cage, basically gives him the whole stakes. The idea is that if Outworld beats Earthrealm in the next Mortal Kombat tournament, that's it for them. Like, Earthrealm will merge with Outworld, and Shao Kahn will also rule the universe that Earth comes from. While it seems like we're still pretty early in the movie, we see him meet Cole in the background, as he also meets Kano, another dead character, was killed during the first movie by Sonya, is back during this. Then it actually seems like Cole, in his armor that he unlocked during the events of the first movie, fights Jade. Jade, also played by Tati Gabrielle. Johnny Cage name drops Transformers, so Transformers exists inside the Mortal Kombat universe. While he talks about Jax's arms, it seems like he's fighting Mileena. We get another shot of Liu Kang using his special abilities against Shao Kahn. Seems like it probably doesn't faze him. There are a couple more funny clips of his cheesy movies, Uncaged Heat. Then you see him in Outworld fighting Baraka.
Find you annoying.
Not the face.
We get to see Jade fighting Kitana. This looks like Jax using one of his special abilities. When you actually see the colors light up in the sky like the fireworks, that's actually part of a new mechanic that they introduced for the second movie to just show you what the tallying score is between the two different teams, Outworld versus Earthrealm, as the movie goes along, like who is currently winning based on who's won the recent matches. This looks like Sindel using her trademark Scream ability against Sonya. Then we actually see Scorpion in his human form giving the team a pep talk. Not totally sure what the context of that particular pep talk scene is, because it seems completely different from the scene of Johnny Cage outside without his sunglasses on. When he says it's showtime and gets ready to actually fight, that is one of the things that he says in the games. Then we get what looks like a much bigger fight of Scorpion fighting what I think might be Noob Saibot because of the way he pulls him out of that black armor. Like, it just seems like it's a Noob Saibot Easter egg. I remember when the original games first came out, me and my friends learned that there was a secret character that you could unlock, Noob Saibot, which was actually a larger Easter egg for Ed Boon, because when they were actually making the games, there was an Easter egg character they were working on in the background that they eventually turned into a real character and just put him in the game. And eventually, once the successive sequel games came out, you were able to play as him. But it seems like with this fight here with Scorpion that they're doing in the movie, they're actually going with the Bi-Han origin story where Bi-Han Sub-Zero was killed by Scorpion during the events of the first movie, and then he becomes Noob Saibot. He also says the thing inside the thing, like he says his trademark catchphrase, "Get over here," as he does his special move. Then over the end of the trailer, they play an updated version of the classic Mortal Kombat movie music, not the game music, but the original 1990s movie music. There's a quick montage of a couple different fights, a couple different kills, and then Kano joking with Johnny Cage in the middle of a Noob Saibot fight before it seems like Scorpion jumps in and kills Noob Saibot, where he tries to tell him that he's not actually a good fighter, he's just a pretty face, but the whole idea is that through the course of the movie, he actually does unlock his special abilities and become a really good fighter. Within the actual lore of the games in the previous movies, Johnny Cage does actually have good fighting skills. He just doesn't believe in himself. That's the whole idea, is that once he does start believing in himself, he starts unlocking his abilities in this movie. Just like that original 1990s movie, you get the Mortal Kombat shout-out. But because there's so much stuff going on during this, so many Easter eggs for the original games, as well as the original Mortal Kombat 2 games specifically, and the original movies, if there's any Easter eggs that you spotted or characters that I didn't talk about during this video, just write them below in the comments. My assumption is if everything goes well, they do a third movie, they'll also do all the extra characters that you could play as during the third game, but let me know what other stuff you want them to include in that third movie. There's a bunch of stuff coming up. There's a bunch of Superman, Supergirl, along with Marvel, Fantastic Four, Avengers Doomsday stuff that they're all releasing right now at the same time, just because July is so big right now for movies. And literally, while I was finishing this video, they just released a brand new Tron Ares trailer with Jeff Bridges coming back in the actual trailer itself, not just voiceover, like you actually see him in the trailer. So I will try to do a video for that next, later tonight. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that. Everybody click here for all my Superman video Easter eggs, post-credit scenes, full breakdowns of the movie, and click here for my brand new Avengers Doomsday first look video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.